You remember the old comedian Jeff Foxworthy? And he had that skit, you might be a redneck if. You might be a redneck if, and he'd say something funny, that a redneck would do, You might live in a banana republic if, as I think I'm gonna hit the comedy clubs and Jason at 4. You might be in a banana republic if, and that's how I'm gonna get my claim to fame. Because you might be in a banana republic if one of the states in your country moves to block voters who missed previous elections. So in other words, you can't stand these filthy, rotten politicians. You look at choice A, the Republican, and choice B, the Democrat. Last go around, didn't care for any of them. The one before that, 2008, didn't care for any of them either. That's 8 years now. That's 2 cycles. 2 election cycles. So in other words, you gave me 2 choices. I didn't vote for either because I don't play the whole lesser of 2 evils. One's going to drop 5 nuclear bombs on your house. The other one's going to drop 4. Clear choice. Go with the guy who's dropping 4. Excuse me. Can't one nuclear bomb on anybody's house cause utter destruction not only to their own house, but miles and miles around the house? Yeah, correct. So, does it really matter which one I vote for? Matter of fact, never mind. I'm not voting for either because I don't want either evil to take over. Is that not a good choice? Good answer? No. Not according to Ohio. Zero hedge. In the latest attempt by a state to disenfranchise voters, in which state was gung-ho about, what's his name, Kasich. I'm not dropping out, Ohio, well, yeah, that was his state. I won Ohio. Yeah. Ohio residents are finding that if they haven't voted in the past 6 years, they will be purged from the voting rolls. If this website right now didn't say zerohedge.com, I would swear 100% certain that I would be reading this from The Onion. Complete spoof, just looks good. They did a great job, great actors, but it's fake. No, this ain't no peddling fiction here. This is Zero Hedge. With Election Day fast approaching, a renewed focus is being put on the fact that Ohio has removed tens of thousands of voters from registration lists for not having voted since 2008. While the number of voters that have been purged statewide is unclear, in Ohio's 3 biggest counties that include Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus, at least 144,000 voters have been removed, Reuters reports. With both Republican and Democratic officials presiding over the program throughout the last 20 years, it doesn't seem to be driven by one party or another. Exactly. My point exactly. You have choice A, the Republicans. Choice B, the Democrats. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Whether you vote or not, one man's leaving with the crown. Case in point, you guys are only giving us a Democrat and Republican. That's all we see. There are somewhere around 8 or 10 people, as I'm doing this video, who are actually running to be president this year, to be in the November elections. They want to win as president. Excuse me, there's 10 people currently running, roughly. Yep, right now. I only hear about Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, and Bernie Sanders. And the new third-party guy no one's heard of that they're going to try to, throw Donald Trump off the rails. Not going to happen. It just goes to show you what the media can do. The mainstream media, they don't talk. Again, they want to talk about a freaking mom dangling her kid over a fence in a zoo. Oops, slipped, falls into the damn enclosure. Gorilla gets him, drags him around the water a few times. I mean, that's breaking news. That is breaking news. Now let me just show you how out of whack this is. How many people? There were more shootings in Chicago over the Labor Day weekend. Or was it, Memorial Day? There were more shootings in Chicago, broke records in deaths, not just shootings, deaths by shootings. So let's just say, and I think it may have been 30 over that particular weekend or whatever it was, or maybe it was one night, for God's sakes. 30 people killed. One boy dropped into a zoo enclosure, gorilla enclosure, did not die. A couple scrapes and bruises, they say. Dead gorilla. So, 30 humans killed. One gorilla killed at the zoo. Mainstream, highly important. Turn on the news, see the footage over and over again. Turn on another channel, same piece of garbage footage over and over again. Change the channel, come back, same story. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, and keep repeating it, and keep repeating. That's freaking news. Oh, what's that? Hillary Clinton, her email server, the IT company that was handling some part of that, they actually stored all her email in the cloud for backup purposes. And guess what? They've just turned it over to the Justice Department. And now the Congressional Committee, whatever is handling this, said, can you give us a copy too? That would be a wise decision, because you're going to find that we gave the original copy away and it disappeared. We don't know what happened. Something crashed. A hard drive crashed within a hard drive crash somehow. Some nonsense. That is more important news than the freaking gorilla. Okay? So now you don't vote because you're sick and tired of the crap, and you say, I'm not going to vote because I'm not choosing either of you. I don't want to be responsible in any way, shape, or form by picking the lesser of two evils, because you're still going to do crap that's terrible for the country. So I won't vote. Oh, you didn't vote? 2 times in a row? JSNIP4, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. What do you mean? I thought I was correct. I thought I won. Give me my money. Nope, you lost. Now you don't get to vote because you've not been to the polls in 2 terms. Oh, but now there's finally a guy I want to vote for. Now he's there. And he's one of your club members. He's one of the club's 2-party system. He's a Republican. I want to vote for him. His name's Donald Trump. I'm sorry. That is incorrect. You get nothing. Good day, sir. So with both Republican and Democratic officials presiding over the program throughout the last 20 years, it doesn't seem to be driven by one party or another. On the other hand, Reuters finds that the purge of voters in Democratic-leaning neighborhoods is at roughly twice the rates as in Republican neighborhoods. Well, again, Republican, John Kasich, that's right, get rid of the Democrat, it's a turf war between the two mobsters. Dems, the Repubs. Reuters also found that neighborhoods having a higher proportion of poor African American residents are actually hit the hardest. Imagine that. That's because residents of relatively affluent Republican-leaning neighborhoods are more likely to vote in both congressional elections and presidential contests, historical turnouts show. Democrats are less likely to vote in midterm elections and thus are more at risk of falling off the rolls. In the heavily African American neighborhoods near downtown Cincinnati, more than 10% of registered voters have been removed due to inactivity since 2012. That's only 4 years ago. Interesting. In suburban Indian Hill, only 4% have been purged. Overall, 30,000 voters have been removed due to inactivity since 2012 in Hamilton County, which is a larger figure than Obama's margin of victory that year. It's absolutely unfair, said Donna Porter Jones, an organizer at Amos Project, an interfaith group that aims to register 30,000 voters from some of Cincinnati's poorest neighborhoods. Ohio Secretary of State John Husted, a Republican, says that canceling registrations for voters who missed 3 straight federal elections helps keep voting rolls current. And since 2011, Ohio has cleared out more than 2 million records of people who have moved or died. Critics of the move, such as Kathleen Clyde, a Democratic state representative, said that, quote, "You shouldn't be struck of your right to vote because you skipped an election. Most states only remove voters from the rolls if they have died or moved to a new address. Not because you didn't vote because you were disgusted with the filthy, rotten politics." Husted, on the other hand, believes that, quote, "If this is really an important thing to you in your life, voting, you probably would have done so within a 6-year period. Those who don't vote over a 6-year period or respond to a postcard mailed to their address have only themselves to blame." Excuse me, I don't want to have a pick between Satan and the devil himself and say, I'm not going to vote, because if I vote for either one of them, oh my God, my conscience, my moral obligations to humanity, I can't vote for either of these guys. I'm not going to vote. But you got to. Lesser of two evils. What are you doing? Lesser of two evils, man. Don't let if you don't vote for the other one, he's going to get it. You can't let him get it. Well, all right, I'm not voting for either. I'm going to just pick some third-party candidate. Any of them's better than this guy. They've all given great answers on what they're going to do. They're not part of the establishment. No, you can't, man. Because if you do that, you're taking a vote away from the one guy, and the one guy's got to get it because the other guy's more evil. And where's the first time you ever heard that crap? Did someone just make that up and it just went viral on YouTube or Facebook, became a new social thing? No. You first heard it on the mainstream media. That's who put that little seed in your head and let it grow. And all of a sudden, that's now fact. It's truth. It must be because they said it. There's a lesser of two evils, and I've got to always pick the lesser of the two evils. How about standing back and saying, why are there any evil? Or why is there so much evil, but one's a little less than the other? How about picking a guy that's got a tiny bit of evil, if any evil at all? That's because he's not going to be up there for you to pick. He's not going to be picked and chosen by the Republicans, their nomination, and he won't be picked by the Republicans. So no Democrats, no Republicans. You go flush down the third-party toilet. And anyone who votes over there, your vote is simply being wasted so that these two can so-called duke it out, when in reality, they're on the same freaking team. Plain and simple. Now this time, we've got a weird contender, Donald Trump, who's making this thing look quite interesting. Looking at all of his old years ago stuff, things he's said, interviews. The man seems to be where he, right. I mean, he seems to be in the right spot in a lot of our eyes. So we can only hope that he follows through if he, should by somehow win this election, which means he somehow has the vote rigging stopped on these electronic machines that are preset to pick the winner. Also means he somehow can get by with the rotten politics and the super delegates and the regular delegates and the flip-flop delegates and all that crap. Wow. So, incredible. You might live in a banana republic if you live in the state of Ohio. Take care.